Welcome back to the show, everybody. Super excited and grateful for you to be back here with me this week. It's going to be a solo episode this time, but am super grateful that you're spending the time this week. I know it's the holiday season, things are a little bit hectic and crazy, but always good and always want to acknowledge the people that are choosing to tap in, not only to support the show, which I greatly appreciate, but also for taking the time for yourself. Again, I already said it, holidays can be crazy. I know things can be very go, 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 especially at work. We're at these end of year deadlines. We have a lot of increased expectations around friends and family and other commitments. For a lot of us, it's church, it's community initiatives, community drives, or whatever the case may be. And so, for that reason, we're going to keep it short and pithy this week, but want to talk to you about something that I think darn near all of my guests have spoken about here on the show, but I maybe haven't taken the time to do so directly. And that's to talk about gratitude. Gratitude is something that it is a bit of a buzzword, maybe has lost its meaning for a lot of folks, but it really has proven to be one of the most important pillars of turning one's life around, creating the life of our dreams, and overall just creating a greater sense of happiness and well-being. And take it from me, I mean, I am somebody who has historically been a bit pessimistic. I've been the first one to doubt myself, doubt other people, discredit the things that I'm up to and that I've accomplished because I'm playing the comparison game. I'm not I'm not in a place where I'm feeling particularly grateful, but gratitude is something that actually allows us to tie everything together that we're up to. And so, knowing that this is going to come out the week of Thanksgiving, this conversation, I think it's something we get to drill down on and look at. Gratitude is important because not only does it allow us to feel grateful, feel good about what we have, it does two other things I think are a little bit less obvious. The first being is that gratitude or practicing gratitude brings us into the present moment. Bringing us into the present moment is the most important thing, I think, because we can only operate in the present. The past is behind us, it's already happened. It does inform a little bit about what's happening today and in terms of what our set of circumstances might be, but we can't go back and change anything. The whole coulda, woulda, shoulda. There's truly nothing we can do about what has happened in the past. We also can't do anything about what's in the future because we're not in the future, we're in the here and now. And so being grateful for what you have and what you're up to in this given moment is a real nice, quick way to reset yourself and get you back into a place of groundedness, of centeredness in the present moment where you can take action, where you can put in the work to change your circumstances, where you can plant the seeds that are going to grow into the life of your dreams in the future. And so that's number one. The other thing that I think gets slept on in terms of gratitude is that a practice of gratitude allows you to feel whole. It brings you back to a place of wholeness and knowing that what you have and who you are is enough exactly as you are, and exactly as you are with whatever set of circumstances you find yourself with in this given moment. My wife and I recently celebrated our 2-year anniversary, and we've had a pretty interesting first 2 years of marriage. Absolutely no issues with the relationship, but we've had some very difficult circumstances that life is giving us that we've had to navigate together as a couple and as a family with our son Tucker. And there's absolutely been times where we could have given in to the coulda, woulda, shoulda, being angry about what happened in the past, being remorseful about decisions we made, being angry about how unfair things are, being, upset about how it impacts our future. And those are all true things, but again, that puts us in a place of lack. Focusing our attention and our energy on the injustices of situations and also the anxiousness, the anxiety, the regret puts us in a place of scarcity because underneath it all, it's actually reinforcing the ways in which we feel that we are not enough. Okay. Now, follow me here. If you have a financial goal, right? If you have a financial goal and you overspend on something, for example, are you going to sit there forever and just beat yourself up for making a poor financial decision? One that's going to negatively impact your ability to go reach that goal? I mean, you can. That's certainly a choice you can make. It's not one I would recommend, though, because again, it keeps you in the past and it's reinforcing any limiting beliefs you have about yourself, about your lack of worthiness, maybe your lack of intellect, your lack of judgment, whatever the story might be for you. I'm just throwing some things out there, but instead of focusing on the negative, reframing it to, wow, I am so grateful that I had the means to make this purchase. And now I'm going to go refocus on my financial goal. Full speed ahead. That's a very different energy. Am I right? And so I know in the world of personal development that gratitude is something that everybody brings up and we probably all roll our eyes at. I know I have for sure, but it really does make the difference. As we're putting our son to bed every night, we all go around, we all take a turn saying what we're grateful for and what we're proud of ourselves for that day. And some days it's really, really easy. I'm grateful for this killer sales call I had, or I am grateful for, this amazing financial opportunity that came my way, or I'm grateful for how great I felt when I was out on a run. There's some days where it's really challenging. Maybe my wife and I got into an argument, or maybe, things with another relationship are not going so well, or maybe, my body hurts or I'm not feeling well. Still digging deep and finding something that I can be grateful for, even as simple as I'm grateful for having a home. I'm grateful that I had 3 meals today. I'm grateful for air in my lungs. Little things like that can shift your perspective. Choosing to be grateful for even the little things, especially when so many folks out there have it worse than any of us listening to this do. It's enough to get us back on track and moving forward to what we want to create. So much is in the news these days about inequities and people who have and people who have not. But let's take this into perspective. If you have a smartphone in your pocket and are therefore able to listen to my voice right now on this podcast on an app, you are actually in the richest 10% of people in the entire world. Let me say that again. If you are able to hear my voice right now, you are listening to this on some type of technology that you probably had to procure with your own money, and your ability to do that puts you in the top 10% financially in the entire world. 8 billion people, you're in the top. You're at the top of the pyramid. Maybe not as far up as you want to be, but you're doing a lot better than a lot of other folks out there. Be sure to check in with yourself and remember that whatever circumstances you're dealing with, it is not an indictment of you. It does not mean that your circumstances will continue on like this forever. And no matter how bad you might have messed things up in the past, you can always change your circumstances. You're always one decision away, period. And for that, be grateful for the amount of agency that God has given you in your life. I'm very thankful that I have enough privilege in this world that I'm able to have a podcast. I have a family that loves me and supports me in the amount of time it takes for me to produce this every single week for you guys. Those are blessings. And it also helps keep me going. And so I would love to hear in the comment section below, wherever you are catching this, whether it's on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or any other platform, what are you grateful for listening to this? What are you grateful for in this moment? I want to know. And you know what? If you haven't thought about it in a long time, or even if you just find that question really challenging or off putting, I am directly going to ask you to sit with it and dig as deep as you can, because it matters for you to be able to see all the good that is there in your life. Take it from somebody who went a very long time living in misery that was created by his own perspectives of the world. You don't have to live that way, nor should you. No matter what's going on in the news, no matter what's going on in your personal life, we have more agency than we think we do, and circumstances are almost always temporary. I'm going to leave you guys with that. So, folks, I know this was a short one this week, but please, please, please hit like, hit subscribe, share this with somebody who you feel like needed to hear this message today. We'll be back next week with another guest or message. We'll see you then.